Hello everyone, welcome to Finance Wisdom. In this video, we're going to talk about why you need a financial detox. If you're new to this channel, do like and subscribe to the channel. I've previously written about why I believe everyone should practice frugality. Since done correctly, it has several advantages both financially and socially. Due to 2020's financial turmoil, I believe the importance of these benefits has only been heightened. And today, we're going to talk about spending cleanses, one of many strategies people have used to become more frugal and financially efficient, and because of its flexibility as well as the speed at which its effects manifest and the amounts of difference it can make on our lives in the short term. If you haven't already know this, we're going to go through what a financial detox is and why everyone would want to take one today. In general though, a spending cleanse is a self-imposed challenge in which you determine that you will not spend money on a certain item or activity for a set length of time. As I've already mentioned, it's a highly flexible method. When it comes down to it, why do we spend money on things like detoxes? There are a lot of reasons, and most of us have used them at some point in our lives. But when you get down to it, I think it boils down to a simple answer. Because we want to feel better and better and better. While financial detoxes can help us determine which purchases are worth the money spent, they also provide an opportunity to reflect on why we are making those choices, which is essential if we are going to make long-term changes and become more frugal. With this in mind, a successful financial detox shouldn't be about cutting back on purchases. I'd recommend doing the financial detox for at least a week to give yourself time to adjust to the new way of living and think about it later. But a month is even better. Step 2. Decide how long the detox will run. Step 3 is to begin the cleanse, preferably taking notes along the way on various aspects of the cleanse, such as financial and non-financial changes you perceived throughout the cleanse, and the choice you were presented with during the cleanse, how hard they were, and why you believe that is. Make adjustment based on what you learned from your notes in Step 4. Step 5 is mechanically the same, but some people prefer to focus on one area of their lifestyle at a time, such as a possession cleanse, where they go through their apartment or home and get rid of things they no longer use or need, ideally selling them for extra money or donating them, and only allowing you to keep the things you need or use. First and foremost, there are the obvious financial advantages of potentially making some money if you decide to sell your belongings. There are also the long-term financial benefits of not having to maintain the items that you get rid of. Because whether through actual maintenance and repair costs, or just replacements, there's always some kind of cost associated with owning just about any possession. We can do wonders for our mental well-being by doing things like traveling or going to therapy, or most of these activities are reasonably priced. These activities may also have a positive impact on our finances after the cleanse is complete, particularly if you identify and work through issues related to some money disorders. If someone finds relationships that are causing them emotional distress, leading them into undesirable situations, or simply promoting bad financial habits, they can think of ways to limit or even eliminate those relationships, which is likely to improve both their quality of life and the rate at which they save, however you decide to go about it. Then some do a combination of all three methods. You should keep track of how far you've come even if you don't meet your long-term goals, since it will remind you of your progress, even if you don't meet your larger ambitions. It's important to keep in mind that even if you find yourself in the same bad habits, bad decisions, or bad situations as before, slowing down your descent is still progress. You can use the strategies that worked well in the past to help you on your next attempt and tweak the ones that didn't work so well in the past, encouraging you to think about how much you could have missed them if you had kept them, or that they had brought more worth to your life than the items you have eliminated. It's worth taking a moment to think about why this is important to you. For example, Do you miss going out to eat with your friends because you prefer going out to eat with your friends? Or would you still get the bulk of the benefits of going bowling or hiking with your friends? The opportunity cost of reintroducing these activities into your budget in their new form should also be considered, especially if you decide to alter your usual activity. For example, if you had previously eaten out weekly but decided to eat out twice per month, would the cost be worth it? If not, would it be worth it to continue to do so, but perhaps only twice per month? Make sure to like and subscribe to the channel if you enjoy this video. Let's say that Dave and Diane are both 30 years old, making $75,000 a year, and they have $40,000 in student loans, a $50,000 car loan, and a $33,000 credit card debts. Their monthly payments on these debts are $5,500 and $70 respectively, and they have $80 in savings to speak of. So all in all, they aren't in a terrible financial situation. Not unlike the typical American family, they always spend quite a lot of money eating out, about $5,000 a year or $400 a month on average, going out 4 times a week. This was cut during the cleansing and following their cleanse. They decided to eat out once a week and make the rest of their meals at home. As well, they did miss going out to eat. It wasn't nearly to the level they thought it would be at first, so they see this as a good middle ground going forward. We'll say that between the decrease in eating out costs and the smaller increase in the cost of food prepared at home, Dave and Diane save roughly $4,000 a year. From this changes most people on a spending cleanse. Do Dave and Diane also pare down their entertainment expenses significantly? Obviously, during the cleanse, they had to find ways to entertain themselves for free, which they did by taking walking tours of their city, which is great for our physical well-being. Exploring nearby state parks, which is a great way to get those mental breaks, and possibly some emotional benefits to boot, volunteering and community activities, which obviously can be great for the social and or spiritual side of things. Hosting potlucks and board game nights with friends, learning new skills, which can have a variety of benefits, depending on the skills and so on. But these activities became a new normal over the years that when the spending cleanse was over, Dave and Diane didn't feel the need to bump up their entertainment budget by too much. According to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, Consumer Expenditure Survey, the average family spends over $3,000 a year on entertainment-related it. At this point, Dave and Diane didn't need that much money to keep themselves occupied. Sure, they'll have a subscription or two after the cleanse is over and will occasionally go to see a movie or a concert or buy a new board game. But with the kind of lifestyle they've become used to over the past year, we're probably taking closer to $1,000 a year on average, if that instead of $3,000. Anyway, as their discretionary expenses were falling, it became painfully clear to Dave and Diane how high their non-discretionary expenses, like housing, really were at the start of the spending cleanse. They were paying roughly $1,500 a month for shelter, which is quite a sizable chunk of their total expenses. So they set out to find a way to be more financially efficient with their housing costs. It took some time, but eventually they found a home that came with a mother-in-law suite that they could rent out to lower their effective costs. For housing would be more expensive than their current rental with a monthly payment of about $1,800 a month. But they managed to rent out the extra space for $800 a month, leaving them with a net savings of $500 a month and property of their own between those 3 major categories, even if they don't make any additional adjustments. Dave and Diane are now saving several $1,000s a month, more than they were before they began the expenditure cleanse, and this will have a big impact on their financial future, contrary to what we assumed earlier. A year after Dave and Diane's spending cleanse, they would have paid off all of their debts and their annual expenses would have dropped to around $36,000 onward and upward. Assuming a 5% annual inflation-adjusted return on the $36,000 they had left over after expenses, they would be on track to reach financial independence in their late 40s or early 50s, based on the 4% rule, which would put them well ahead financially compared to a version of Dave and Diane who didn't make the adjustments. To retire earlier, they could use the remaining $18,000 or $20,000 a year that was left over from their savings to enjoy themselves in other ways, or just free up more time and convenience because, come on, who doesn't want that? The point is, well-executed spending plans can make a pretty monumental difference in our lives, not just in terms of our finances, but also how much we're getting from the money that we do spend, in terms of the joy per dollar. Thank you for watching. I hope you have learned something from this video. If you like this video, do give us a like, subscribe to the channel, and comment down below. If you would like to support our channel, you can click on the super thanks below, as this will motivate us to do better. Thank you and goodbye.